All right, let's do it.
How's everyone doing?
Long time to see. How you been, Arash?
Hey, good. Just dealing with a lot of diapers and stuff. So in recovery mode.
Well, I assume Sylvain is the master of all that. with so
I
many
remember
kids.
talking to Sven in one of the KubeCons, so maybe I'll solicit help from him.
I'm
Man
good.
to man or zone to zone.
Yeah, you got to go zone defense. Once you got more.
Uh-huh. All right.
Or you need more adults. That's the option.
Yeah, still on the first one, so I'm good. Let's get started.
Do we go through the weekly routine first, John?
Yeah, let's scroll up and see what's in there. So do we have stuff to talk about for 112?
For 112, Daniel Grimm from Red Hat volunteered as well. I was following this in the 112 channel.
Awesome. So Daniel Grimm.
Yeah, he volunteered. So I guess it probably needs formal approval, but he's out until the 11th.
One M or two
October.
M's? Two M's. What company is Daniel from?
Red Hat.
Yeah, he's a maintainer on the environment work group, so I definitely would support that. Been working with Daniel before.
Anyone have any concerns?
Nope. Sounds good.
Cool. Do we need to do anything about? I'm down at the docs for offline review. Do we need to do anything about the feature freeze doc? Jacob, what's the status there?
I mean, it's just waiting on approval from TOC, but that's the only thing I think blocking it at this point.
But Jacob, the feature freeze is on 14th October, so I'm not clear. What is this document then?
So there's been like recent discussion in as far as like what can be merged or should be merged after the branch gets cut and kind of things of that nature. Sometimes there's a little bit of discussion that goes back and forth between the release managers and not. And these are just setting some of the expectations for I guess people that are writing code to kind of meet before they either try to cherry pick things back in or try to get features in after a branch cut in particular.
Is this process documented somewhere in a markdown file
No, it's not.
that we can turn? So I think my preference would be to figure out how to have this somewhere that it's a file that we can just that has the process, because I don't like having process in docs because people don't know where to find it and then it gets out of date. And then...
Okay, I can add that to the Istio repository and then assign everybody on TOC to look over it.
Yeah, that would be my preference. Anyone else opinions on that? Does that sound okay?
I would put it on the wiki. We have like a page for each release, and then we can just link to it from there. I already have one that's a small blurb. That's how do I get my code into this release? and we can just link to one doc instead of copying it.
That's not something we can stamp very easily, though, right?
No, we can do a PR too. That's fine, and just link to it from the release wiki pages.
Yeah, I just like the idea of being able to, send a PR as a way to change the process rather than having to create docs and then lose them, or just going and updating the wiki and losing it. Yeah, I guess community is not the right place. So yeah. I mean, wiki's fine too, but that was my reasoning. Other TOC members, any opinion?
And Markdown sounds good to me. So, like,
Okay, Jacob, send us a PR putting it somewhere, and then link to it from the wiki on releases. All right, Lynn, did you want to solicit TOC nominations?
Yeah, this is the last week, folks. If you're interested in filling in for Brian Avery for the empty TOC seats, please reach out to us. The TOC, I think there's a TOC steering asking questions Slack on Istio. So far we have Eric. Thank you for your interest. Reach out to us. So please let us know.
Is Justin on? Yeah, Justin, you're here. Do you want to nominate Ethan on the PSWG?
Yeah, we have had some sort of like minor reordering within restructuring within the teams, and so we have a data plane team, and he's the TL for it. And just having him be involved in the product security working group, I think, would be helpful.
Anyone opposed?
just my one question will be, previously we had a lot of qualifications and stage, like I shouldn't say stages, but we had some qualifications and things written down for who can join PSWG. Looks like over the last few quarters, at least when I was, we don't really follow that process anymore. Is that fair, Jacob and I guess Brian, and I don't know who are the current leads? Or yeah, go ahead.
Yes, that's fair. Right now, so the reason why this was in part brought up is that over the last probably 2 to 3 months, we've had on average 3 to maybe 4 people attend the product security working group meetings. So that's when we kind of brainstorm this. Oh, there's Oliver as well. That's where we were, trying to solicit. Is there anybody else that could actually attend that has a key stake in actually Istio security. So that's when Justin kind of went out and found somebody within Google that actually would. But yes, I don't believe they are an Istio even member at this point, but I could be wrong. Justin, do you have any?
Yeah, I don't think they are. He's fairly new, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I understand the concerns and that we don't have enough people and we want to get people. I just want to make sure it's being fair to everyone, right? So if new team members who have not worked on Istio from other companies were to join PSWG, which is a sensitive group, we would allow it going forward or not?
Is that criteria written down someplace? I haven't seen that, but I haven't looked for it either. I didn't know it existed.
That's what I was saying, Justine. We did write down something concrete.
Yeah.
When Francois was here, I was the lead, and I think, I don't remember who was the third lead. It just, what I've seen is over the time we didn't quite follow it. So I just want to make sure we either remove it or update it.
Right. I was just asking where it is because I haven't seen it.
I think it's one of the docs in the product security working group drive. Is that correct, Jacob? I don't remember.
Yes, it is. I'll find it. I think we should update that because last week we also brought up to TOC if we could solicit members of the early disclosure list if they had anybody that could participate in that as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have any specific objections to Ethan. I just want to make sure we are setting up the right precedents and being fair going forward with everyone. Does that make sense? Other TOC members, like?
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
think-
remember seeing that document. I think it would be nice if that document is public instead of somewhere in our Istio drive that people don't
Mhm,
have
that's fair.
visibility to it, unless people happen to review that document. Louis, sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, I think we've had cases in the past where the PSWG wanted exceptions to the rule to try and get participation. I think there was one person we approved before. I'm trying to remember who it was, who had significant experience in this area, but wasn't technically a member of Istio.
It was Jack Leakford, who did the NCC audit.
Yeah. So we have an expertise issue, right? Is that what we're describing, Jacob? Right, where there's just not enough participation with expertise.
So it's kind of twofold. One, there's not enough, cybersecurity experts, and then two, just overall engagement, and as far as making sure the patches are ready and things of that nature. So we need some worker bees, like myself, as well as some people that actually can kind of dig in and kind of assess some of these vulnerabilities as they're reported to us.
Sven, I see that you're looking at the same document that I have open. Do you mind sharing it?
Yeah, I can share this. This is the charter. But here's what we had originally said the requirements were.
Yeah, we started out with really strict requirements because of the sensitivity issue. I think over the time it got diluted because, as Jacob said, lack of expertise and just lack of participation. And we had quite a bit of churn in this group. I agree, Mandar.
Yeah.
And to be fair, most of the folks that we have added who didn't meet this criteria, and we made kind of an exception. If I remember correctly, many of them are again out of they've just left the group or they didn't contribute significantly.
Currently,
So I don't know if you have. Go ahead.
Yeah, currently we have about 4 to 5 people actively working on PSWG, participating in every CVE release, right? But that's not enough. That's the issue. We need to get more people engaged. So I personally think yeah, I think other people also said either you have good experience with Istio or you have good expertise on securities. If you qualify for one of them, that should be good enough to participate for PSWG. Of course, you have to obey all those rules, the special sensitivity rules inside this PSWG. You have to agree on that. But other than that, I think it should be okay. Yeah.
So for what it's worth, the text is a little hard to read based on like where proposal 1 is bulleted wise compared to proposal 2 and proposal 3. But I think he would fall under proposal 1 if that's some of the criteria. But obviously he doesn't. The 3 items above don't apply.
Oh, I see. You're saying he's like yeah. I think I remember somebody mentioned he's a tech lead or a manager.
Right. Yeah. He's a tech lead. I mean, Mandar is the manager, but he would probably he could be involved in the coordinating of resources since he's working closely with the people who are working on Envoy for Istio.
I'm good with it. Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think that he will be a great addition when we need sort of qualified and motivated people. But as regards, yeah, so I think overall it would be the right decision.
And by way of background, so he was I worked with him on Open vSwitch. He was one of the core contributors to Open vSwitch, so he has experience in open source, just not he's new to Istio and Envoy.
Got it. Yeah. Since I brought it up, I'm good with it. And if what's his name? And if Ethan, you're on call, by no means I meant to grill you. This was just to make sure we have the right people in the right groups. So I approve.
Yeah, I think I'm good with it. I think we should go back to this and try to clean up these proposals and make them more formal. But yeah, I think we should go ahead and do that.
Yep.
We should make it easier for people. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll add it to the agenda so that we can kind of refine this charter at the next meeting. So thanks.
Yeah. And this is in the drive. This is in the community drive. Or the
it is?
PS,
oh, okay.
It's in the PSWG community drive.
Right, but I think it's the private one, isn't it?
So maybe we probably should clean it up and then move it to the public one because we don't. You shouldn't have to be a member to be able to see what the requirements are to be a member. Yeah.
Everyone else is good, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
John, do you want to take back over presenting?
Thank you.
Yeah, I am presenting, but I don't know how to make it automatically be the main
If you
screen.
go back, does it give you a button to
I'm still sharing. It's just not the main screen anymore unless you pin it.
No, I thought there was a way to take back over now.
I think to take back over, you have to unshare and then
Yeah,
reshare,
okay, I'll
unfortunately.
That's lame. Okay. Oh, Shweta, our one pager on strategy.
We are way overdue.
Okay, I can add that to my list for this week. Anyone else want to help wrangle that? Going once, going twice. All right, I volunteered myself. Okay. I'll try to have it into like actual draft form for next week so we can discuss.
Yes, Sven, I can help you. Sorry, I wasn't mute. Just send it my way.
Thanks, Niraj.
Thank you, Neeraj.
Feature freeze. Speaking of feature freezes.
Yeah, that's just a FYI that the feature freeze is starting 14th October, followed by the testing on 19th. The testing has got very, very simpler just because most of that is automated now. So we have less of a churn. And another good news is our weekly working group leads meeting have reduced to almost 80%. So we only meet close to the releases. So that's another good news that we have given 30 minutes back and it's working well with the channels discussions and just meeting around the release time.
Are there any features that are at risk for the feature freeze that we need to prioritize as TOC or just working groups in general? Did we get all the WASM stuff that we needed?
WebAssembly support. I think that PR is nearly in now, or it's either in or nearly in.
Okay.
And then there would be some follow. I think there are some follow-up PRs based on that we expect as well.
Okay, we should just make sure the follow-ups get in before the freeze, especially if they're breaking changes. I think there was one that was a tiny API change.
Yep.
Mandar, what about the rate limit API?
Rate limit API did not get in. There's
Okay.
no. I mean, yeah, it's not even the API itself is not in yet. So I don't think it's reasonable now to expect it.
Okay.
We do not have any other topic, but quick thing. We had a IstioCon in February this year. Are you planning to have another one? I don't know. Any thoughts?
It hasn't come up yet in steering.
Okay.
It should come up. But it has not yet. I think there's going to be a lot of waiting to see what KubeCon looks like this fall, whether they get in-person attendance, whether it's virtual.
KubeCon is going on, right? I think somewhere in LA. I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, it's both in-person and remote.
Right.
So I think a lot of people who run events are going to be watching that closely to see how well it does.
I see. Okay. If no other topic, I think we're good for today.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, folks. See ya.
Thank you.
Cool. Bye, everybody. Have a good week.